What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today I'm bringing you an update to Majespecters. Now, Majespecters is a deck that we've had for a long time, and unfortunately Kieran is still banned. But we got some brand new support which definitely takes the deck up a massive notch, and is still very cool for a relatively budget pendulum based deck. So with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. I'm just going to dive headfirst into the profile, show you exactly what we've got and explain why we've got it. And at the end of the video, I'll show you a very basic one card combo that gets the deck started so you can see exactly how it starts and where it looks to end. So diving headfirst into the profile, we're going to start off with the newly reprinted and massively easier to get a hold of Majespecter Raccoon Bombuku. Now this is obviously the core card of the deck in regards to the fact that it's basically a Stratos for everything you need. One thing you do need to keep in mind on with the Majespecters is they are when effects, so they can miss timing if done incorrectly. So when this card is normal or special, you get to add a Majespecter monster from the deck to the hand. You can only use each effect once per turn, and it cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, which is a nice built-in protection for all of the Majespecter monsters. Unfortunately, none of them are massively strong, which is why you really kind of want Kieran to be coming back. So please, Konami, can we have him back? So speaking of Bombuku, the one card you might want to be searching now is going to be the brand new Porcupine. Now the reason it's so important to get the Porcupine is it does have a great effect that during the main phase, if you control a Majespecter monster, you gain a quick effect to special summon this card from the hand. If it is normal or special, so a massive difference with the when effect, you get to target a Majespecter spell in your graveyard and set it. Now it's a little bit disappointing that it doesn't do spells and traps, but at least the spells do have that nice little bit of recurability in the sense that they can pop cards on the board if you need to. On top of that as well, you can only use each of the previous effects once per turn, which means you can't just flood the board with as many Porcupines as you want. While this card is in the monster zone, your opponent cannot target it with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Now the biggest disappointment for me on this one is, in regards to the Majespecters, they have a bounce between level 3s and level 4s, but no real out and out. Like their most XYZs, or all of their XYZs, are rank 4s, so it kind of means that Bombuku is reserved for Link plays, and then your cards like your Porcupine are going to be reserved for your XYZs. So it kind of would have been nice, I know, going back in time for Bombuku to be a level 4, because then at least that way you can go Bombuku into the Porcupine, and that would then give you a rank 4 play. One card that you can go from Yata into the Porcupine to get your rank 4 play is of course Yata. So when this card is normal or special, you get to add a Majespecter spell card from the deck to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. Now the reason this is so good is it will let you search out the brand new card Majespecter Wind, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. Then of course we've got the one Toad. So this one, on normal or special, lets you target a Majespecter spell or trap card, set a Majespecter spell or trap card directly from the deck, but it cannot be activated that turn. So that's kind of nice because you get an additional trap card that can help you interrupt your opponent. You've then got the one Fox. On normal or special, you get to add a particular Majespecter trap from the deck to the hand, which is the reason that it's at 1 is because most of your cards is going to be getting through your Toad. You don't really need to rely on the Fox as much, so it's still a very good card that lets you utilize everything you need to. And then of course we've got the one Cat. So the Cat on normal or special allows you to target a card, you can add a Majespecter card from the deck to your hand during the end phase of this turn. So it's a little bit slower than the rest of it, so you don't really want to be searching your spells and traps. You're going to be searching your monsters for the follow-up of the remaining turn. We are also playing the Draco Slayers, which I'll talk about a little bit later on, but I'm just going to go through all of the main Majespecter cards right now. So of course the next one we play is the brand new Majespecter Wind. When you activate this card, you can also tribute one Wind spellcaster monster. Special summon one Majespecter monster from your hand or graveyard, or if you tributed a monster at activation, you can special summon a Majespecter monster from the deck instead. You can only use or only activate one Majespecter Wind per turn. So this is really nice because it allows you to get into a Majespecter monster, which something you need to remember is Majesty Pegasus the Draco Slayer is always treated as a Majespecter card, so very important that one. Then of course we've got the one Majesty's Pegasus. Now unfortunately it's not a Majespecter card, really annoying. All Majespecter monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense because they definitely need it. And you contribute one Wind spellcaster monster to special summon a level 4 or lower Majespecter monster from the deck. So it's very nice, you're able to turn your Yata. So you'd ideally, if you get into Majesty Pegasus, you can turn your Yata, you can search out your Majespecter Wind, tribute the Yata, go into Bombuku, Bombuku then searches you out and you get to go and go. We've then got the one Majespecter Cyclone, so this is just tribute a Wind spellcaster to target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. And then for the track cards, we've got the 1 Tempest. So when a monster or monsters would be special summoned or a monster effect is activated, tribute a wind spellcaster monster, negate the summon or activation, and destroy it. And then, of course, we've got the 1 Tornado. Tribute a wind spellcaster, target a monster your opponent controls and banish it. Now, to me, I really wish this effect was this effect. I would like this to have been a quick effect to banish, but that might just be down to the format we are going into. But as you can see, the deck is basically designed to be a control deck, with your monsters not being able to be targeted or destroyed, and then being able to tribute them off using your own effects to clear off your monsters with different forms of negation, destruction, and banish. Then, of course, we are playing a small Draco engine. So we've got 2 of the Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, 3 of the Majesty Pegasus, as it is nicely also a Majespecter card, and this will get you into field spells, which I'll show you the ones we are playing in a second. Just to kind of utilize the Draco Slayer engine, I am going with the 1 Dynamite Knight and the 1 Ignis. You don't have to do this at all, you can cut those 2 completely if you want to. I quite like the idea of adding them in because I like the way the Draco Slayers operate, and the best thing about those is these are all level 4, so it gives you more access to your rank 4 plays should you want to go down that route. Triple Kashtira Fenrir. Now the reason behind this is obviously Fenrir is a very great aggressive card. Being able to search out another copy of itself as well, it can be quite helpful. One thing you do need to remember is that your Pendulum Summon will only go from scales 2 to 7 at max, and that is if you get a Draco Slayer into the Pendulum scales, so you're not going to be able to Pendulum Summon out Fenrir. It's just a very nice aggressive option for going first or second, but you can very easily tag this out for a draw unlock bird if you wish to. Then, of course, for our draw powers, we do play Triple Pot of Prosperity. Your deck's not really designed to be OTK capability. It can be done because it is a Pendulum spam board, but the idea is you want to be going first, you want to be going for your control, you want to be trying to get to your Yattas, you want to try and get to your Bambukus, and that just allows you to get everything you need to. For the additional field spells that we are playing the 1 Necro Valley and the Secret Village. Now, currently, this is a 41 card deck, so if you want to take one of these out, you can. The reason I decided to go with Necro Valley is I do believe that it's quite good in this current format, especially when your opponent is trying to move cards from the graveyard. So you get to negate any card effect that will move a card in the graveyard to a different place. So it means that they can't recycle their Ponyx, they can't banish their wanted spell. It can be very, very helpful. Alternatively, you can also go for Secret Village of the Spellcasters, but this is obviously only going to be more ideal when you're going first because it is a spell lock. It's not as effective unless you can break your opponent's board, which, as you've already kind of seen, your monsters are very, very weak, and you don't have that many cards that can allow you to pick your opponent's board apart, especially if they have set up an incredibly powerful board. We've then got the 1 Call by the Grave to protect your Bambuku to guarantee you that search, and then that's how you're going to get your combo going. For the hand traps, we've got triple Ash Blossom Joyous Spring and triple Infinite Impermanence. Like I said, you can make this more aggressive where you don't play any hand traps at all, and the idea is you want to just go second and open up all your combo pieces. But because Majespecter is such a low attack stat kind of deck, you want to be going first, you want to be able to control your board state from that point on, and just from the 1 Bambuku, you're going to be able to net quite a lot of advantage that's going to help you do that. So that's it for the entire main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we are playing 2 of the brand new Majespecter Orpheros. Now, this card's actually really insane for the deck. So it is generic, but it does require a Majespecter monster. Like, when I say it's generic, it just requires 2 Pendulum monsters, but it does need a Majespecter. So it doesn't need 2 Majespecters, which is quite nice. If this card is link summoned, you get to add up to 2 face-up Majespecter Pendulum monsters, I'll get it right eventually, from your extra deck to your hand, and then you get to add up to 2 Majespecter Pendulum monsters with different names from your deck to your face-up extra deck. You can't special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Majespecters or Draco Slayers. Now that's quite good in the sense that you go into this. The issue with the lock means that you can't get into some of your other generic cards that might help you build your board, complete an OTK, or set up a defense. But the idea is by simply being able to make this, you get to add the 2 cards back from your extra deck to the hand and put 2 more cards into the extra deck. So when you do Pendulum Summon, you're going to be able to Pendulum Summon a full board of 4, which means you can kind of increase your board state and your board presence very easily, all off the 1 card. And then of course we've got the 1 Beyond the Pendulum, pretty straightforward and simple on that one. 1 Exceed the Pendulum, Selene, because all of your monsters are spellcasters, so if they do hit the graveyard, whether they be XYZ material or whatnot, bring them back and then rank up into an access code. For the extra deck, for the XYZ, sorry, we are playing 2 Majespecter Draco. So this is the brand new card. It does have a Pendulum effect that if you have a Majespecter or a Draco Slayer card in your other Pendulum zone, you can add 1 Majespecter card from your deck to the hand. Then you can destroy 1 card in your Pendulum zone. You can only use each effect once per turn, or this effect once per turn. It's generic rank 4, but if you can Pendulum Summon level 4s, you can Pendulum Summon this face-up card from your extra deck. If a monster or monsters is tributed while this card is on the field, except during a damage step, you get to detach 1 material from this card, special summon a level 6 or lower wind spellcaster monster from the deck. you can only use this effect, Majespecter Draco Rui, up to twice per turn. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect or tributed, you get to place it into the Pendulum zone. So as it is a Majespecter, you can utilize it and get the most resource out of tributing this with your spells and traps. On top of that as well, when you are tributing cards with, of course, your brand new Majespecter Wind, it does allow you to maintain that resource on the board should you need it. Then, of course, we've got the one Majesty Paladin, the Ascending Draco Slayer, the one Dynamite Knight, and then, of course, the one Igneous Door, the Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer. So pretty standard on that one. And then for your generic cards, just to kind of help you add to your board, you've got the one IP into SP, and then of course you've got the one Typhoon and the one Zeus. So pretty straightforward and simple on that. They are just your 4 staple cards. Depending on the type of version of the deck you play, you might want to adapt it and put more Draco Slayers in it. But honestly, I feel that the new Majespecters are actually really, really good. It's a shame that the Link Monster has that lock, but even with that lock, it can still really help you, and you're about to see that in the combo I'm going to show you shortly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the 1-card combo, and we'll be able to build off the back of that so you can see where the deck starts and where it ends. So going back to basics with your 1-card combo, going back to Banbuku. So what you're going to do on this one is you're going to normal summon Banbuku. You're going to use this effect to search out the brand new Porcupine. You're then going to be able to special summon down the Porcupine because you control a Majespecter monster. You're then going to be able to link these two together. Now keep in mind you can use the effect of Porcupine if you have a card in the graveyard. We're going to go with that you don't at this current moment. You're then going to go into your Majespecter Orphelos New. You're going to use New's effect to add you back the Porcupine and your Majespecter to the hand, while sending Yata and Ogama to the extra deck. Now you don't have to send exactly these two, you can send any mixture you want, as long as they have different names. Then what you're going to do is you're going to scale up your Banbuku and you're going to scale up your Porcupine. You're then going to use the ability to Pendulum Summon 2 out, so you're going to be going for your Ogama and you're going to go in for your Yata. You'll then be able to trigger the effect, so obviously off of the Yata you want to add the Wind, and off of the Ogama you want to set either your Tempest or the Tornado. Either one, you're going to get the other one in a minute anyway. Then what you do here is you can activate the Wind, you can tribute off any one of these, it doesn't make much of a difference because you're going to be going for a level 4 anyway. Tribute that off, that will go to the extra deck, special summon out your QB. QB's effect can then trigger, and this will allow you to add the other Majespecter trap from the deck. So you're now going to have your Tempest and your Tornado. You're set good to go, but we are not done yet. We're going to overlay both of those and go into the Majespecter Draco, so that when you do initially use Tornado to tribute off one of your Majespecter monsters in the form of the Orphelos, you can special summon another one out. You just have more resource, and you'll still maintain an additional 4 cards in your hand to play with that can be further extenders or further ways of disrupting your opponent during their turn. So that's it, very straightforward and simple, basic combo for, of course, Majespecters. I do really like the new support they got. I'm glad it's all, well, I would say it's all low rarity, but it's 2 supers, 1 secret, and an ultra. But they're still really kind of cool cards. I like the new additions. I think they look amazing. I would love to see each of these as their own Majespecter monster, but still incredibly good. I'm disappointed that they're still using Kirin in all the artwork, but we still don't have it. Hopefully we will get that soon. I do really want Kirin to be able to be like, it just needs like an errata that it can only be special summoned if you have 2 Majespecter monsters in the zones. But I don't feel that, I think we're past the point where Pendulums are that incredibly broken. Like, they're a very aggressive style deck, but I don't feel it's like, okay, game over if you are playing Pendulums like it was back in the day when you could, Pepe, when you were setting up stuff like Kirin plus Ptolemaeus, which led into Cyber Dragon Infinity. Like, I think we've power crept that format, and we're massively different from that point. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's giving you a nice little breakdown of what the deck can do, how it can operate, and just a baseline of what you could be looking at picking up in order to build this deck and having incredible amounts of fun with it. For now, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.